It started with silence, then came the tears. Remy Ma, the woman who built her legacy on strength, bars, and boldness, found herself in a moment no one saw coming. After months of rumors, heartbreak, and public tension, the once uncheckable Remy was caught on camera breaking down, begging Papoose, the man she once called her rock, for another chance. The clip spread like wildfire. In it, Remy's voice cracked, her tone trembling as she tried to explain herself. Pap stood there quietly, his expression unreadable, the pain in his eyes telling a story all its own. Fans couldn't believe it. The hip-hop power couple that had once been the symbol of loyalty and love was now unraveling in front of millions. What went wrong between them? How did years of unbreakable loyalty turn into cold distance and heartbreak? And why was Papoose's sudden move-on moment rumored to involve another woman, the final straw that made Remy snap in public? Social media was quick to take sides, but no one knew the full truth. Until now, because behind the headlines and viral clips lies a story of betrayal, regret, and redemption, one that proves even the strongest love can be tested when fame, pride, and pain collide. This is the inside story of how Remy Ma's heartbreak went from private regret to public meltdown, and why this time her tears told the truth she could no longer hide. It's the kind of moment nobody expected to see from Remy Ma, vulnerable and completely unguarded. For years, she's been one of hip-hop's strongest women, known for her confidence, her control, and her unshakable loyalty to her husband, Papoose. Together, they were the definition of real love in an industry full of scandal. But now, that image is cracking, and the internet can't look away. It all started when a short, blurry clip hit social media late one night. In it, Remy and Papoose were seen having what looked like an emotional conversation outside of a restaurant in New York. The video, clearly filmed from a distance, showed Remy in tears, her voice trembling as she reached for Papoose's arm, but he pulled away. Within hours, that 30-second clip went viral, gathering millions of views and sparking endless speculation. Fans immediately began asking questions. Was it staged? Were they arguing? Why did Remy look so desperate? And why did Papoose look so cold? The answers would come soon enough, but by then, the internet had already written its own version of events. According to insiders, the video wasn't just a random argument, it was the result of months of tension between the couple. After years of standing by Remy through everything from her prison sentence to her comeback, Papoose had finally reached his breaking point. The tension reportedly began after the messy rumors surrounding Remy and Easy, the block captain, her protege in the battle rap scene. At the time, both denied any affair, but the whispers refused to die. Even though Remy kept her composure publicly, those close to her say Pap wasn't the same afterward. The man who once praised his wife in every interview started showing signs of distance. Fewer appearances together, no more social media posts, and a silence that spoke volumes. Behind closed doors, things were even colder. A close friend of Papoose told the source, Pap felt disrespected. He's a man who values loyalty above everything. Even if Remy didn't do what people said, the fact that it looked that way embarrassed him. For months, they tried to patch things up, but trust is fragile, especially when it's been tested in public. And as time went on, it became clear that Papoose wasn't willing to pretend anymore. Reports started surfacing that he'd quietly moved out of their shared home and was focusing on his music and mentoring new artists. But what really shocked everyone was when Pap was spotted at a private industry event in Atlanta, not alone, but with a woman who wasn't Remy. The mystery woman, whose name hasn't been confirmed, was described as young, soft-spoken, and nothing like Remy. Fans immediately started speculating that this was Papoose's way of saying he was done waiting. Photos of them sitting together, smiling, went viral, and by morning, Remy's name was trending everywhere. It didn't take long before Remy responded, not with words, but with emotion. Insiders claim she showed up at Papoose's hotel in New York a few nights later, unannounced, asking to talk. Pap reportedly agreed, but things didn't go the way she hoped. The conversation turned heated, emotional, and eventually spilled outside right where that now infamous video was recorded. In the clip, you can see Remy wiping tears from her face as she tries to reason with him. Her lips move as if she's saying, "Please, Pap, don't do this." Pap's body language, however, tells a different story. Arms crossed, eyes down, jaw locked. He looks like a man who's already made up his mind. Sources say Pap told her he was tired of being humiliated, that he stood by her when everyone else turned away, and that he deserved peace. Remy reportedly broke down, saying she never meant to hurt him, that the rumors had gotten out of control, and that she wanted her family back. But Pap didn't budge. Fans online had mixed reactions. Some sympathized with Remy, calling it karma for her past attitude toward other women in the industry. Others defended her, saying she was only human, that even strong women break when love's on the line. One viral tweet read, "Seeing Remy cry like that hit different. You can tell she really lost something real." But for Papoose, the decision seemed final. Those close to him said he'd been bottling his pain for too long, and when he saw how the rumors had stained his name, the quiet, loyal husband now seen as the betrayed man, it was too much to bear. Pap's pride took a hit. One insider shared, "He's always been about respect, and when that's gone, there's no fixing it." Meanwhile, Remy's inner circle says she's been in a bad emotional state ever since. One friend told Hot New Hip Hop, "Remy, don't cry easy." But this time, it's different. She's not just losing her man, she's losing the one person who always believed in her. After the viral clip, paparazzi started following Remy everywhere. She was spotted outside a recording studio looking distraught, wearing all black headphones on, walking fast with her head down. Fans assumed she was channeling her pain into music, something she's done before. But the tone felt heavier this time, more personal. And then came another twist. A blog claimed to have text messages allegedly between Remy and one of her close friends. In the texts, Remy allegedly admitted she messed up and took Pap for granted. While no one can confirm if those texts were real, they lined up perfectly with what fans saw in that heartbreaking video. Public opinion started shifting. People began rooting for a reunion. Comments like "Remy and Pap need to fix it, and if they can't make it, nobody can" flooded social media. Some even started resharing old clips of them from Love and Hip Hop. New York, calling it the love story that's falling apart in front of us. But the reality was darker than fans realized. Papoose wasn't angry anymore, he was done. Those close to him say his silence isn't bitterness. It's acceptance. He's focusing on his peace, his projects, and his children. And though he still loves Remy deeply, the trust that once held them together has been shattered beyond repair. Still, Remy hasn't given up. Sources claim she's been trying to reach out, writing letters, and even speaking with Pap's family, hoping someone will convince him to meet her one more time, to talk, to explain, to start over. But every attempt has been met with the same quiet response. Pap's moved on. Or fans who followed their love story for years, from Remy's prison days to their emotional wedding renewal. This feels like the end of an era. But for Remy, it's not over until she says it's over. And if there's one thing everyone knows about her, it's that she doesn't go down without a fight. Because behind that viral meltdown wasn't just heartbreak, it was desperation. A woman who's lost her partner, her peace, and maybe even her pride. And deep down, Remy knows. The world may be watching, but this time, she's fighting for something real, her last chance at love. The night that clip of Remy and Papoose went viral was just the beginning. By morning, headlines across every gossip site painted this same tragic picture. Remy Ma begs Papoose in public. Hip-hop's power couple breaks down. Papoose finally walks away. For years, they'd been the symbol of endurance and loyalty. But now, the same public that once celebrated their love was dissecting its downfall frame by frame. Still, Remy wasn't ready to give up. According to sources close to her, she spent the next few days calling and texting Papoose nonstop. She left voicemails, long emotional ones, pleading for him to hear her out. But he didn't respond. Pap's not ignoring her out of anger, one insider explained. He's doing it because he knows if he hears her voice, he'll break. And he doesn't want to go back to that pain. But what really made the situation worse was what came next. Papoose started stepping out more. After years of being a low-key family man, he was suddenly seen in the spotlight again, attending shows, dinners, and events, and always with that same woman by his side. She wasn't flashy, didn't post pictures, and seemed to avoid the attention completely. But the internet found her anyway. Within days, her name, photos, and background were circulating on blogs. Some claimed she was an artist signed to Papoose's label. Others said she was just a close friend helping him heal. But to Remy, it didn't matter. All she saw was another woman taking her place. People around Remy say that's when the meltdown really started. She became withdrawn, skipping meetings, canceling interviews, and spending long nights at the studio recording alone. One of her producers told Complex she came in with tears in her eyes and said, "I need to get this out before I lose my mind." What came out of that session, insiders say, was one of the most emotional tracks she's ever written. A song rumored to be titled "Still Yours." In it, she allegedly raps about loving a man who forgot what they survived together and trying to fix something that fame broke. It hasn't been released publicly yet, but a snippet leaked on TikTok and fans instantly recognized the pain in her voice. One user commented, "This isn't the tough Remy we know. This is a woman who's really hurting." Another wrote, "It's sad, but at least she's honest. You can feel the regret." Meanwhile, Papoose stayed silent. He didn't respond to the song or any of the rumors. Instead, he continued posting motivational quotes, talking about peace, self-worth, and moving forward. Messages that fans couldn't help but interpret as subtle shots at Remy, but things took a darker turn when a fan account posted a video of Papoose and the mystery woman walking hand in hand into a lounge in Atlanta. The caption read, "Pap done, moved on for real this time." Within hours, Remy's fans were in her comments, tagging her nonstop. "Girl, he's done with you." One comment read, "You should have treated him better when you had him." Remy's response shocked everyone. She didn't ignore it. Instead, she posted a simple black screen with white text that said, "Sometimes you don't realize how deep love runs until it's too late. But I'm still fighting." The post got over 200,000 likes and thousands of comments, most of them supportive, but some brutally honest. "He gave you his all, and you took it for granted. Now you know how it feels. If this was real, you wouldn't have to beg." Remy didn't respond to any of them. But a few days later, paparazzi caught her again, this time outside Papoose's recording studio. She wasn't yelling or crying. She just waited. When Pap arrived, they exchanged a few words before he quietly walked past her. Cameras flashed as Remy stood there, staring at him, holding back tears. That photo became the new symbol of heartbreak. A woman who once ruled the stage, now silenced by love. Insiders say Papoose later told friends that he wasn't trying to be cruel. He just couldn't go back to something that hurt too much. "Pap's not mad," one source explained. "He's tired. He spent years being the rock. Now he wants peace, and he's finally found it." But Remy wasn't ready to accept that. A week later, during an Instagram Live, Remy appeared emotional and exhausted. She spoke directly to her fans, saying, "Everybody makes mistakes. I ain't perfect, and I'm not pretending to be. But I'm still human. When you love someone for years and they just walk away, it does something to you." The comments flooded instantly. Some offered love and support. Others accused her of using emotion to manipulate public sympathy. But Remy wasn't trying to play a role. She was genuinely broken. She ended the live abruptly, saying, "I just want my family back." Then came another twist. A leaked DM thread surfaced between Remy and one of Papoose's friends. In the messages, Remy allegedly asked for help, saying she wanted to make things right and show Pap she was serious. The messages hinted that she'd been planning a grand gesture or something private, but powerful to prove her love. Days later, that gesture happened. Remy showed up unannounced at an event where Papoose was being honored for his contributions to hip-hop culture. While he was on stage accepting his award, Remy stood in the audience, teary-eyed, and when he finished his speech, she started clapping loudly, emotionally, almost as if she was trying to reach him through the noise. Cameras captured the moment. Papoose looked toward her briefly, nodded, and gave a small smile, but then he turned back and walked off stage. Fans called it heartbreaking, but some said it was closure. After that night, Remy stopped posting for nearly 2 weeks. When she finally returned, it was with a photo of her and their daughter, captioned, "At the end of the day, she's my reason for everything. Even when life falls apart, I keep going for her." It was clear Remy was trying to refocus her energy, but behind the scenes, sources say she was still hoping for reconciliation. One insider told All Hip Hop she's still in love with Pap. She talks about him all the time. She regrets letting people get in her head. She's realized fame cost her more than she ever imagined. Meanwhile, Papoose was slowly moving forward. He'd been spotted in meetings, working on new music, and even hinted at a project exploring forgiveness and new beginnings. Fans wondered if that was his way of processing everything, or maybe even leaving the door open for peace. Still, those closest to the situation said reconciliation was unlikely. Too much had been said, too much had been seen. "Pap's not the type to go back once he walks away," a friend said. "He loves hard, but when that love dies, he lets go for good." Yet, not everyone believed that door was completely closed. A few fans pointed out that despite everything, Papoose still hadn't unfollowed Remy on social media. He hadn't deleted old photos of them either. To them, that meant something. Maybe not love, but respect. Maybe not reunion, but memory. Remy, on the other hand, continued to walk that painful line between hope and heartbreak. Her next post hinted that she still believed in miracles. It read, "Sometimes love doesn't end, it just changes shape. I'll always be proud of what we had." But what nobody expected was that behind the scenes, something else was brewing. A leaked phone call, allegedly between Remy and a close friend, where she confessed that she'd messed up beyond repair. The audio, which began circulating quietly online, captured her saying, "He doesn't believe me anymore. I could tell him I didn't do nothing and he'd still look at me like a stranger." The sadness in her voice hit fans hard. For the first time, it was clear this wasn't just a publicity mess, this was real pain. Now, as both Remy and Pap stand at a crossroads, the question everyone's asking is the same. Can love survive when trust is gone? Because even after everything, the tears, the rumors, the silence, Remy still isn't done fighting for the man who once vowed to stand by her forever. The tension between Remy Ma and Papoose had reached a breaking point. What started as quiet distance turned into a full-blown emotional storm. And the internet was watching it all unfold like a live drama. But no one expected the next chapter, the one that would expose just how fragile even the strongest love can become once pride, pain, and public pressure collide. It all started when Remy appeared at an event in New York where Papoose was performing. The night was supposed to celebrate independent hip-hop, a gathering of artists, fans, and industry names. But when Remy walked in, the energy shifted. She wasn't there to perform or to be seen. She was there for him. Eyewitnesses said she looked nervous, pacing in the corner before walking toward the stage. When Pap spotted her from the crowd, there was a flicker of recognition, a mix of surprise and heartbreak. He paused mid-sentence before continuing his verse. But the tension was undeniable. By the end of the night, Remy approached him backstage. Cameras weren't supposed to be there, but of course someone caught it. The video showed Remy tearfully speaking to Pap, trying to explain herself while he stood, arms crossed, looking down in silence. "You don't even listen no more," she said in a trembling voice. "You think everything I say is a lie?" Pap didn't respond. He just looked away and said quietly, "You made it that way." That clip, just 20 seconds long, hit the internet like a bomb. It was reposted thousands of times across X, TikTok, and Instagram. The caption on one viral post read, "Remy Ma begs Papoose backstage. He walks away cold." Within hours, it had over 2 million views. Fans were split in half. Some felt sorry for Remy, saying no one deserved that kind of heartbreak in public. Others defended Papoose, reminding everyone of how loyal he'd been during her prison sentence and how he'd stayed faithful for years. "He stood by her when no one else did," one fan wrote. "She lost a real one, and now she's realizing it too late." The clip also reignited old rumors about what really caused their split. Some blamed jealousy. Others whispered that Papoose had discovered something too personal to forgive. And then there were those who said it wasn't one mistake. It was years of unspoken resentment that finally boiled over. But the most shocking part wasn't the video. It was what came after. That night, Remy took to Instagram Live again. Her eyes were swollen from crying. "I never meant to hurt him," she said softly. "I know what people are saying, but I didn't betray him the way y'all think. There's always two sides to every story." She went on to talk about the pressures of fame, the loneliness that comes with always being strong for everyone else, and how easy it is to lose sight of what really matters. "I messed up," she admitted. "Not because I didn't love him, but because I stopped showing it. I took his loyalty for granted." Meanwhile, Papoose stayed silent again. He didn't post, didn't respond, didn't even appear in public for several days. But that silence only fueled speculation. Fans started tagging him in clips of Remy's live, urging him to forgive her. "Pap, she's hurting, bro," one fan commented. "At least talk to her." Others accused him of playing cold to gain sympathy, calling him emotionally manipulative for letting her suffer publicly. Then, unexpectedly, a clip surfaced from a private studio session. Papoose was previewing a new track with some close friends, and someone leaked the recording. In the song, Pap raps about watching a queen fall from her throne and trying to love someone who kept breaking my peace. The lyrics were sharp but emotional, a mix of pain, disappointment, and closure. One line stood out, "I prayed for your healing when I should have prayed for distance." That line went viral overnight. People began quoting it everywhere, saying it summed up their own relationships. It became a trend. #PrayedForDistance. Remy saw it too. Insiders say she broke down crying after hearing the song. She couldn't believe he finally put it in music, one friend revealed. That's when she realized he was really done. He'd moved from pain to acceptance. But despite that realization, Remy wasn't ready to let go just yet. Days later, she did something that shocked everyone. She showed up at Hot 97 during an interview with DJ Enough, where Papoose was scheduled to appear. She waited outside until the segment ended. When Pap walked out, she approached him again, this time without cameras, without security, just her and him. Witnesses said it was emotional. She was crying and he was calm but distant. They talked for almost 10 minutes before Pap hugged her briefly and walked to his car. That photo, Remy leaning against his chest, crying while he held her, became one of the most viral images of the year. Fans flooded timelines with captions like "Real love never dies" and "Closure or come back." But the truth was more complicated. That hug wasn't reconciliation. It was goodbye. Sources close to Pap say he told her he'd always love her. But he couldn't keep reopening old wounds. He told her straight up he forgave her, but he wasn't coming back. One insider shared. He said he needed peace more than he needed the past. For Remy, that moment broke her completely. A few days later, she posted a black and white photo of herself sitting in an empty studio with the caption, "Sometimes love ain't enough." The post racked up over 500,000 likes. Fans filled the comments with empathy, heartbreak, and disbelief. Even celebrities chimed in. Fat Joe commented with a simple, broken heart emoji, while Cardi B wrote, "Love don't always end how we want it to. But you'll be okay, sis." In the weeks that followed, Remy disappeared from the spotlight again. No new music, no public appearances. Just silence. Insiders said she'd been focusing on therapy, her family, and getting back to herself. "She's finally slowing down," one friend said. She's realizing that healing doesn't mean getting him back, it means forgiving herself. Papoose, on the other hand, seemed at peace. He began mentoring young rappers again, showing up for community events, and even doing interviews about growth and forgiveness. In one conversation, he was asked about Remy directly. He paused for a long time before answering. "I'll always respect her," he said. "We've been through too much for me to ever hate her. But sometimes love changes, and that's okay. I want her to be happy, even if it's not with me." The clip went viral immediately, not because it was dramatic, but because it was so real. Fans praised his maturity, saying it was the closure everyone needed. "That's how a real man moves." One user commented, "Pain without bitterness, love without possession." Still, the story didn't end there. A few months later, Remy quietly dropped a freestyle online. No promo, no interviews, just her voice over a simple piano beat. The track was raw and honest. Her most vulnerable yet. She rapped, "You stood by me through bars and scars, but I let fame rewrite our vows. I'm learning love don't die, it just